the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy, Ruther, and Praino. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Praino.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning.
Happy Boxing Day.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon. Happy Boxing Day. Happy post-Christmas.
How was Christmas with the kids in Ohio? What did everybody get? What did you get?
Well, my birthday and Christmas was it was like a combo.
Okay.
I got this this TV that I didn't even know these existed. It's basically you don't even have to. I mean, you got to charge it, but you don't have to plug it in.
Wireless TV.
Wireless TV. It moves. It could be. It's in my office now. It'll be on the deck in the summer. It's not the biggest, but touchscreen too.
You got a gigantic iPad.
Exactly. But it swivels. The picture is like it's LG. It's pretty state of the art.
Take it into the garage for porn. Maybe the shed out back.
Why am I watching porn in the garage?
I don't know.
Do that right here, bro. On the old laptop. Plus, like, you get to my age. I was talking to a buddy about that. And I was like, he's like, when's the last time you looked at porn? I was like, dude, you just don't.
Yeah.
We were actually this to bring it right to dirty sports. We were talking about Sharon Moore. My buddy was like, we're just like, we can't get over it. I go, isn't it crazy? He's like, dude, like who's got time? It's like it's a time thing. Like it's a time issue.
Yeah.
Horniest dude ever. I think I sent you that now that Moore has come out, More on More. The Athletic did a deep dive with a bunch of Instagram chicks and OnlyFans chicks who were like giving him info about he was basically sending messages to women also that he had no connections with. Right. So like
just random DM slides.
Just random DM slides. 5 women contacted The Athletic and said they had strange or uncomfortable messages with Moore as recently as last month and as far back dating as 2020. One woman said she received
to be fair, the strange messages were him saying he was going to beat Ohio State.
I think he beat him once, though. He beat him last year.
I don't know.
You'll love this. One woman said she received a hand-waving emoji from Moore a few hours before kickoff against Purdue this year on November 1st. The woman had no connection to Michigan or Michigan football and wasn't even sure why he'd be sending her direct messages. She responded with a hello. Moore's next message popped up about 20 minutes after his post-game news conference where Michigan barely won 21-16. She said she couldn't believe that he was texting her or DMing her right after the game. She thought it was a fake account. And then, and there it goes. It's just like that was his move. And he'd invite chicks into town and they'd be like, dude, don't you have a wife and kids? And he's like, yeah, we gotta kind of keep it kind of secret. But long story short, I called it Michigan knew. That's kind of
obviously, yeah.
Like way before it all went down that like this guy's just a horn dog. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's like you just can't control it. Bro, I don't know. Lock your office for 10 minutes, handle your business, and then just go back to watching game film. What are you doing?
Yeah. Penn State can't wait to slide in his DMs and be like, listen, you got to coach somewhere.
Did they hire it's like I have no clue. Did they hire somebody? They fired their coach.
No idea.
I know you'll be watching college football this weekend.
Didn't even know there was college football this weekend.
I think there's a game. I think there's
playoff games.
I think maybe. I know
Do they
neither.
not does college football not even care for like New Year's Day anymore? Is that a thing still?
No, I think it is. Let's pull up the old schedule. Okay, so all right. Let's do the college football playoff. Okay, so we got no, I am completely incorrect. It shows how much I know, but it's also a weird schedule. So they played last Friday and last Saturday.
Okay.
Then there's a big layoff. Then the next game is the 31st.
Okay. That's for the playoff.
That's for the playoffs. So that would be the Cotton Bowl
Okay.
on the 31st.
And now we had a round of games, and then there was people who had buys, right? So now
this is the quarterfinals.
This will be the round of 8.
Yeah, so this is the quarterfinals. So
Okay.
then they go back to like the bowls. You have like Miami and Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. And then on New Year's Day, you have Oregon and Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl, and Bama and Indiana in the Rose Bowl, and Ole Miss and Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. So those are the 4 bowls. I mean, how long does this thing go on? I'm just looking. And then there's a game January 8th and 9th. And then the final is the 19th.
Mm.
So they've stretched out from the 19th to the 19th. So 12 teams over 30 days.
Yep.
The words of Jay Cutler.
Exactly.
Don't care. It's just like, how can you? How can you at this point? But people will, especially with everything going on now, man. All this news I told you before the show. I was like, we got
Oh, you were saying how can you care with all the other stuff that's going on?
Well, yeah, how can you care in general?
I couldn't even watch NFL yesterday, Andy. I watched. People are gonna hate this. 0 minutes of live football yesterday.
Well, I watched a little of the first, and then the last 8 minutes of the last game.
And the last game was Chiefs Broncos,
which was supposed to be a blowout, and it was a good game.
Yeah,
because you had a third stringer, and supposedly it's Travis Kelce's last game.
And in Arrowhead.
In Arrowhead, your girl was there, of course.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't see it, but I read it. Yeah, your girl was there.
She was there just after her huge Christmas season of donating millions of dollars. I don't know if you heard that.
I've seen some headlines. Haven't really delved into it.
She donated $1 million to the American Heart Foundation because her dad had a heart surgery. Which, if you're wondering if that's a lot of money, if you have $100,000 liquid in your bank account, that would be the equivalent of you donating $62.50.
Is that really what it is?
Yeah. It'd be the equivalent of you donating $62.50 if you have $100,000 in your savings account.
Well, I saw she had given some pay.
I don't have $100,000 in my savings account, in case anybody was wondering, but I regularly hand out $50 GoFundMes for people's dogs are sick or house burned down or had flooding or whatever. But Us Weekly is not going to write a story about that because I can't write it off as a goddamn tax shelter. What a fucking bitch. I hate her so much.
'Tis the season.
It's horrible. It's abhorrent behavior to donate less money than you make in interest on your account and then to have a PR team put it out there for you. Look at what she did. She donated almost as much money as she made this month doing nothing.
Do you think, though, let me ask you this. I'm put a little devil's advocate on this one.
Yeah.
Do you think if I'm in agreement that I assume there's a PR spin to this. I assume we all know how calculated she is with her team, that they are letting the tabloids know. But let's say they aren't. Don't you think this would make a headline still due to her star status? But like, let's say they don't let them know. and somehow somebody somewhere is going to leak it, right? Don't you think then that would become a thing regardless?
There's plenty of ways for her to make anonymous donations if she wanted
Yeah,
to.
but that's my point. Somebody at whatever charity or the American Heart Association, there's a good chance somebody's going to leak that, is my point.
It's not a check that says Taylor Swift on it. I don't know if you know that. Like, they're not.
She's not handing a big check?
No.
Like a big...
Because she for sure is already running this through a goddamn financial fucking scam. Like her whole other thing is giving, she gave bonuses to all those people. It's all set up in a way where that's all a write-off. You know how much money she makes a year? Do you know how much she pays in taxes a year? So now all she has to do is literally pay, like, the money's going out one way or the other. So it's all a write-off. So now instead of paying it in taxes, she seemingly is doing it as a good thing. And great. Good for those people who get it. But just having the whole thing that comes out around, oh, she donated this, she gave everybody bonuses. She tax wrote off a bunch of fucking penalties.
So your gripe, so look, bonuses are obviously good for people.
Great.
Your gripe would be
pretending you're some charitable person instead of having an accountant that's covering your tax money.
Or is that is that how the fans take it, is my point. As like because that's what I've seen, like in the headlines of like, oh, she gave her the everybody from the truck drivers on the tour to the dancers to whoever these massive bonuses. And that's how people take it, is like, oh, she's the best ever. But that's on them, right?
What do you mean that's on them?
Like, that's on those people for acting like she's Mother Teresa for that.
Right. She could just pay them that in wages if she thought that's what they were valued. But then she can't spin that as she's some charity superhero.
It's amazing. We got some great stories, and you're just like,
I'm just saying, okay, yeah. Well, listen, this is tied directly into
it. Actually, is.
Travis Kelce. Enjoy that one last game that's on the road. You played your last game at Arrowhead, one of the last few games at Arrowhead, and enjoy it, because next thing you know, you're just going to be another cog in the fucking disgusting monster machine, which you already are a cog in because you've helped this process along. The stealing of Kansas City, Missouri's football team and move to Kansas.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you were going there. So obviously that's like huge news that broke the beginning of the week. Truthfully, when I texted you, it was one of those like, what? Because we all associate our whole lives the Chiefs with Arrowhead. I would argue the same way you do the Packers with Lambeau, the same way you do the Bears with Soldier Field.
I'd say even more so. I mean, at this point, from being a fan of football this long, in terms of, and this isn't just the Super Bowl teams. I would say that according to football players in the modern era that I've heard talk over the last 35 years of my life, Kansas City and more recently Seattle, the craziest places to play fan base wise.
Yeah. Toughest places to play. Yeah.
Now, maybe not in terms of noise because the inside places get a little louder and stuff like that, but inarguably from any player that talks about it, they're like, those fans are going those are the two places where the fans go the craziest.
Yeah. So news breaks on.
Anyway, cool story. We're moving to a mall.
It's fucking gross, man. Yeah. This was Monday. Chiefs are going to relocate to Kansas from Missouri, about 20 miles away. Yes, guys, there is both a Kansas City, Missouri and a Kansas City, Kansas, into a $3 billion dome, which is, again, I've seen so many different, I've read a lot on this. Anywhere from 60 to 70% of public funding starting the 2031 season. And here is, I'll pull it up. I think I grabbed some photos here.
Oh, and if you didn't grab some photos, you guys can just use a photo of any stadium that's been built in a dome in the last. Use a Raiders stadium if you can't find photos.
And that's kind of the point.
Look, that's the Raider. That's literally the Raiders stadium.
That's literally the point that I saw a lot of people make, which is a great point of, cool, this is the Raiders stadium, or is this Minnesota, or pick one. And there's just, we're back to, you know what this is with the domes? This is Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Three Rivers in Pittsburgh, the Vet in Philly, Busch Stadium.
But all those stadiums sucked.
Yeah, Busch Stadium in St. Louis, all of them sucked.
If you are a football team, if you're in Soldier Field or Arrowhead or Lambeau Field or any of the things that survived through the time of the multi-purpose stadium, we're getting rid of it, we're building a new one. That means your stadium was something different and special from all those things.
Correct.
They weren't playing in the circle that is Kauffman Stadium across the street. They were playing in Arrowhead. And the reason the Arrowhead still exists in 2025 is because it wasn't Riverfront Stadium and it wasn't Shea Stadium and it wasn't whatever. Now, this stadium looks cool. I'm sure it's going to be dope. But guess what? I used to go to the dumpiest shit dump, mob built fucking swamp house in the old Giant Stadium. And everybody was like, oh, they're going to build MetLife. This is going to be dope. It sucks. It fucking sucks. Now, that's got a little bit to do with that particular build, but I just don't feel like leaving. It feels like leaving Arrowhead should have to happen for something more than this or different than this or whatever, because this just feels like, again, like we've talked about, the public money cash grab. Let the public pay for it and the private profit from it. That's the big scam now. We can make more money. We're going to get kickbacks. We're going to get incentives. We're going to get naming rights. We're going to get all these things. That's all going to go into our pocket. And the people who live in whatever the fuck town in Kansas is has to pay for it.
What's the term that I've seen? It's corporate welfare, right? Is that the term? It's a good term.
Sure.
It's corporate welfare. It's like we're saying, it's welfare for billionaires. And this is one of the worst deals. Everyone in Cincinnati is like, whoa, we got the worst deal ever. I mean, this is up there. So here's kind of the breakdown of this deal. They get a new $3 billion stadium. The Chiefs get to keep 100% of the revenue from all stadium activities. Again, even though it's going to be owned by the public, just like it is here in Cincinnati. So they get ticket sales, concessions, sponsorships, naming right deals, personal seat licenses, and more. Here's the kicker.
I'm just going to cut you off really quickly. Yeah. Even the idea that it's owned by the public is a complete and total lie.
True.
Owned by the public?
I mean, it is.
So if I'm a taxpayer in that neighborhood, can I just pop in?
It is technically owned in public. That's been the gripe here forever. That's been the gripe here since day one of, wait, the county owns the Bengals Stadium. Why do they have the right to say if high schools want to do playoff games here or whatever concerts? You know, it's ridiculous. So to kind of finish off what I was saying, not only do the Chiefs get to keep, again, 100% of all stadium activities, again, ticket sales, concessions, sponsorships, naming right deals, personal seat licenses, this is the Kansas City Chiefs. They get the revenue from all the other events, the basketball games, the concerts, whatever. So Kansas, the state of Kansas owns the stadium. Dude, this one's wild. The Chiefs will pay only $7 million in rent annually, but caveat here, The money doesn't go back to the state. That's $7 million, which is nothing. It goes into an account that the Chiefs can use for renovations, repairs, and operational expenses on that said stadium. So they're paying taxes, or I'm sorry, they're paying a $7 million rent, which then they're just funneling back in their own money to do upgrades.
Now, Taylor Swift's PR team is like, no, you're paying $7 million in rent. Leave the rest of that out. Just be like, what are you talking about? You pay like $1,500 in rent. I pay $7 million in rent.
See, my problem.
Guys, keep politics out of sports, though.
Well, see, and that's the thing. My problem and your problem is, again, here's how this played out, by the way, for those who didn't follow it. The people of Kansas City, Missouri, who got to watch a dynasty, kudos to them, voted like overwhelmingly against funding using public money to upgrade Arrowhead. And good for them. In one of the few cities where, because everybody cucks for these owners. They do. What do we call it? Cucks for billionaires. It's like everybody cucks. They were one of the few places who, again, I was like, wow, that's impressive, especially when you have a good team. They were like, no, we're not funding this. The Hunt family has an estimated net worth of $25 billion. And I'm already hearing the minute I said, people going, well, they don't have that in cash. Well, guess what? You can use your assets. You don't have to have the cash. You can use your assets, i.e. the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, guess what? No one listening to the show bought their house with cash.
Yeah. So anyway, they overwhelmingly vote against it. Basically, the people of Kansas City, Missouri are saying, dude, you got the money. Fund this shit yourself. So what this guy does is he sets a deal up with the politicians of Kansas to move them to a different state. I know it's only 20 minutes away. We've already said that. It'd be the equivalent for me here. It'd be like moving the Bengals to Northern Kentucky.
Yeah.
Which is like whatever, like our airport's in Northern Kentucky, right? We're right on the border, the river, whatever. It's no big deal, but there's an iconic stadium. To go back to the original point you made, Arrowhead is iconic. That generic dome, which, by the way, don't even come at me about, you can host Super Bowls, you can host Final Fours once every 15 or 20 years.
Yeah. Well,
once every 15 or 20 years.
Yeah. And that's fine. And that's fine. That'll be a cool thing to have there once every 15 or 20 years. But more importantly, don't miss me with that when you're talking about the revenue that's going to bring. The most important thing that is always missed in these conversations is the owners and the politicians and even some of the cucks for billionaires that vote for it to be okay, being like, we're going to make this all back in tourism money. No, you're not. That's not real. That's not real. It's not even a little bit real. First of all, who's flying in for fucking Chiefs games? Small percentage of the people that go to the game. Second of all, just like when people fly in to see the Niners play, or just when same way people fly in when they see the Giants or the Jets play, or their opposing team play at one of those stadiums, they're not staying in New Jersey. They're not at the Secaucus Holiday Inn. They're staying in New York City. They're like, we're going to go to New York and we're going to go to a Giants game. The same way here, people don't go to Inglewood. They're like, we're going to stay in West Hollywood. We're going to stay in Beverly Hills. We're going to stay in Malibu. And then we're going to go to the Steelers game at SoFi.
Yeah.
The idea that this is going to bring tourism money in the form of, again, one Super Bowl every 15 years, that even that doesn't bring in that much fucking tourism money. It's insane.
So I was, obviously, because you always hear that argument. And I was like sending you stuff, and you're like, come on, Ruther, you didn't have to chat GPT this. I was like, well, I just wanted curious what it says. I love the line when I put all this into chat GPT as far as the economic.
I said you should have asked Chat JOE. I could have told you that whole scam has been bullshit the whole time.
But there was a great line, and it said, It's that it's one of the few times where economists across the board, right? Because economists are going to argue on different things since the beginning of time, on different strategies, especially since it is a political thing, right? It's one of the few times where they all agree this does not bring an economic boom to the area, which has always been the narrative that they try to push. It's just a lie. And for me and you as NFL guys, right? I look at it this way too.
And by the way, you know who does profit from having a Super Bowl there once every 15 years? You know who does profit from having the Final Four? The Chiefs. That's who profit.
Exactly. Because they get all the revenue.
Yeah.
Like it is possible. It is possible. Kroenke, I don't know, he's got a lot of faults too, and there's a lot, and people in St. Louis are like, fuck that guy, whatever. He built SoFi with his own money. Like if you look deep into that, there wasn't kickbacks. There's nothing that's going back to like Inglewood. The big thing they did was like, oh, they help provide basic services, which is what they do, by the way, for any big.
And
business.
by the way, I'm sure there's a lot of things built into that deal that he benefits on
100%
immensely. But the point is
he funded it.
He took money out of his bank account and fucking paid for it, which each and every one of these guys should do.
Yeah, and that's all we're saying, and that's the whole point. You can fund it. You have the money. Again, they don't have, he's one of the richest guys ever. Not only was he a gazillionaire, he also married into the Walton family. Cool. Again, the Hunt family, you can leverage all that stuff, all your assets. And you know what else sucks, man? We're now up to, we talk about football and football. Again, the Chiefs are meant to play outside their whole history in Arrowhead. Currently, 11 teams now play indoors. You had the Chiefs, that's 12th. That'd be the 12th team. The Browns are going to get, which, again, Cleveland always known for outdoors. I think they're going to get an indoor one. That'd be 13. The Titans are 14. The Bears want an indoor one, 15. So if all those happened, you'd have almost half the NFL. The Bears should play outside. The Browns should play outside. There are certain teams, it's like you should play outside. I get certain teams have to play inside. It's too hot in Las Vegas. It's too hot in Arizona. There's certain teams, there's probably too much snow in Minnesota. Although, fun fact, they never made it back to the Super Bowl since they ever went to a dome.
Who?
But the Vikings.
Well, the Vikings haven't been to the Super Bowl before or after the dome, right?
That's what I'm saying. Before, go back to the Metrodome. Like,
yeah.
No, they made a few before the Metrodome.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. But I think you and I both agree. It's like, guys.
But also, football's supposed to be played in inclement weather.
Yeah, that's
what?
Part of the fun.
Guess what? UNLV has existed in Vegas the whole time.
True.
They don't have a dome.
That's true.
Arizona State doesn't have a dome.
That's a good
Arizona doesn't have a dome. Miami doesn't have a dome. Florida State doesn't have a dome. Florida doesn't have a dome. None of these places. Texas doesn't have a dome.
True. That's a good counter. It's just, we are the generic dome now is those cookie cutter dual stadiums of the 70s. It's the same thing. And the truth is, guys, like, this is going to curse the Chiefs. I'm calling it right now. I was telling you, I go, the timeline is hilarious to me. It'd be 2031, basically the end of Mahomes' career, 5 years from now. You're going to be on the twilight of Mahomes' career. You got this new dome cursed. It's just like the only thing I can say is like, fuck this guy. Like that's my first take.
Here's, I want to make something clear. If you went to Kansas and you built a dome and you did it with your own money, I wouldn't care.
I agree.
You own football. You own a football team.
I agree.
Do whatever you want.
I agree.
If I want the Giants to continue to play in Giant Stadium forever, I could buy the Giants. Those are my options.
That's a good point.
But where, cookie cutter dome situation, fine. That's true. I think that some of them are cool. I've been to Vegas. I've been to SoFi. I've been to the Jerry Dome. I've been to a lot of these places. They're cool, but they're not special. And when we went to the Jerry Dome now, however many years ago, it was special then. SoFi wasn't that special when we went because we'd been to the Jerry Dome. Vegas wasn't that special because I'd been to SoFi and I'd been to the Jerry Dome. Like there's certainly a loss of, there's a loss of cool to go to each one. I have no need, like I do in baseball, to go to every stadium. And the same goes for basketball. You've been to one fairly recently built indoor arena. You've been to every single one. The Garden, Madison Square Garden, to exit is a fucking fire hazard. You're just like, hey, everybody go into what is essentially the Savage Town stairwell and have 25,000 people funnel out the Savage Town stairwell. Doesn't seem like the way you should get somebody out of a major tourist attraction in the middle of the biggest city in America. But that's what they do. But also the games there. I was watching basketball the other day with Charlotte, and she's like, half into basketball. And I was like, and she's checking in on the game. She's like, how are the Knicks doing this year? Oh, good. Christmas, they're playing on Christmas. Okay. And she's like half interested. And I was like, you know what? I was like, babe, next time we go to New York, we have to go to a game at the Garden. I was like, I feel like one game at Madison Square Garden would turn you into a diehard Knicks fan. She's like, well, I've been to the Lakers game. I was like, not the same. It's not the same. And that's the thing. There is not going to be that in sports very soon, especially in football and in basketball. Baseball, at least they take consideration this because they know that's part of the draw is going to the ballpark, not just going to see the team. But again, make it in the shape of Taylor Swift's twat if you want, if you pay for it. If fucking complete and total rubes in Kansas sign on the dotted line to pay for it, because what the fuck else are they doing there? You're taking advantage of people, and you're taking money from a lot of people that voted against it. And also you're turning your fucking random area into just like strip mall with a big goddamn stadium in the middle.
Arrowhead, without a doubt, for me, like that would be a bucket list NFL stadium. Like I've already said mine. Like I would love to see a game in Arrowhead. I would love to see a game at Lambeau. And I didn't go this year. It was the last year, but same way for Buffalo. Oh, the new stadium in Buffalo, most of it's going to be covered so you don't get the snow. No, that's the whole point. I want to see the Bills while it's snowing. That's kind of part of the drill. Like I want to go up to it. That's what these people don't
Bills
get.
Stadium, new Bills Stadium is going to be what?
I think most
indoor, outdoor.
It's outdoor. Yeah, but I think most of the seats are I think from what I've seen, I think most of the seats, are not getting the weather. The field might, or the field probably will, but again, that's kind of part of the thing. I don't want to see same way for the Packers. I've said it a million times. I'll go. I've already talked to a guy on couch. He's like, we're gonna go. My buddy in Milwaukee. It's like we'll go to a Packers game one of these years when my kids are a little older and it's easier to get away. But I don't want to see the Packers in September, man. I told him, I was like,
right.
I want to go to the Packers in November, December.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not getting the true Lambeau experience in a 65-degree Packer game. I want to get the 15-degree, it's snowing. Yeah, I'm going to be freezing my nuts off, but like that's part of the experience. And the last thing, again, to come back to it, these people that just shill for it, it's mind-blowing. I mean, I was sending you people's comments, and it's the same. It's just like, it's so weird to me because I see it, and it bothers me the most just because I see it here where I live. They do it all the time. Oh, well, then the Bengals will just leave. Then let them leave. Oh, they'll just leave. Only 32 teams have an NFL team. They just they just reworked the stadium deal here, which again, just bends over people like me. Oh, then they'll just leave. Then let them leave.
Let me tell you something, Andy. for Cincinnati, for you, who you don't live in downtown Cincinnati in a skyrise condo. The Reds, again, baseball is different. The stadiums aren't huge. They're built to have personality. They're built to hold only a certain amount of people. They're built, there's, the culture around kind of meandering in and out of a baseball game and the fucking walkways and all the things. Baseball is different. Your life as a Bengals fan, and a quote unquote Bengals fan, let's say you were the typical Cincinnati Bengals fan and Cincinnati resident, is greatly improved by them moving that stadium to Northern Kentucky. Suddenly, you don't have to park downtown in some. You remember when we were in some weird post-apocalyptic? I was there. I was like, so the parking lot's like underground under the stadium, and now we're walking out to Jim's mud hut on the river. Like, what?
Remember how bad it was to leave?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. I do think like aesthetically, it is pretty to see the two stadiums on the river. Like, don't get me wrong, but again, yeah, people they get.
I don't think that there's a lot of lifelong football fans that think stadiums are pretty.
I think you're probably right. But again, these people who just shill for these guys, and like the argument, like again, take like Cincinnati, because it's what I know. They have built up between the Reds and Bengals Stadium. They've done a good job. It's called the Banks, and it's just literally all these restaurants, all these shops, all these bars, apartments, condos, whatever. They've built it up great. And the argument always is, if the Bengals left, they play 9 home games max a year. And all that stuff's also right next to the Red stadiums. And the Reds aren't going away.
Which is 85 games a year. And it's a totally different thing.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's just people who don't know. And so they just side with, again, people who can fund it with their own money. That's what just blows my mind.
When's the last time you heard about a baseball stadium besides Atlanta, because they're retarded, moving their state? Like, when's the last time they're like, the Mets are moving in New Jersey, the San Francisco Giants are moving out to Santa Clara with the Niners, the Kansas City Chiefs or Royals are moving to Kansas with the Seattle's actually they play on fucking blah 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 island, and no, because it's a different thing. 80 games, people walking in and out of this thing.
The summer.
Yeah, exactly.
So those bars and restaurants do matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a shame, man. It's a damn shame. But you're right. You're right. We are going to get to the point. There's not going to be these bucket list stadiums, so to speak. And again, like, the Browns suck. I know you agree. The Browns should be playing outside. The Bears should be. We just talked about that Bears game was wild to watch against the Packers. And the fans were turned. And they're talking about possibly a dome stadium.
And the Browns, I mean, listen, the Browns should play outside because you're always bad. So the elements only makes bad games better, or bad teams better. Not only that, but can you imagine if you give the Browns fans a nice stadium where they're inside and it's climate controlled and they have all kinds of big screens and they're like, I just realized we fucking suck, dude. We fucking suck. Do you see the fucking replay on the Jumbotron? We suck, dude. That dude who just threw that fucking pick six raped like 40 people, dude. This is crazy. When you get them in there and they're like, oh God, it's so fucking cold and it smells like a river on fire in here. No one's thinking about how much they fucking suck.
That's a good point. That's true. That's true. I mean, it's called the dog pound. We still don't even know why. They put dog masks on. Those aren't the type of guys
you don't want to be seen at that fucking that team's games.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, yeah. You put a dog mask on. You know how hot you'd be under a dog mask in a dome. Like, it's just not the right clientele. But again, it's not going to change because whether it's citizens or politicians, they cuck for them. But
as long as we got to keep the politics out of sports. So let's not start. This is a sports podcast. Let's keep the politics out of it.
It's gross, man. It's gross. Let's talk a little Lamar. Let's talk a little Lamar drama. Speaking of some drama. So this headline came out this week from the Baltimore Sun. We'll call him this Mike Preston claiming we got a little. He's claiming that there's some drama with Lamar and the Ravens. Now, Jim Harbaugh is denying it, which of course he would. Who knows what to make of it? Some of the reports are saying that, or in this report, I'm sorry, Jackson has fallen asleep in team meetings and Harbaugh has become tired of the two-time MVP. Harbaugh's claiming this is all bullshit. He's saying, I've never witnessed it. I've never seen it. He's always in the meetings. We have an A+ relationship. Other things are saying Lamar is staying up late, playing video games. Reports are even gone as far to say that Harbaugh and the organization caters to Lamar. They have practices later because Lamar likes to sleep in after staying up all night playing video games. I mean, if true, hilarious, by the way. Like, there's a huge comedic side of that. He's denying it.
Although he did deny it at like 11:30 a.m. yesterday. He didn't get up bright and early to deny it.
So he's sticking by his quarterback, and obviously
when reached for comment on the headset in a Call of Duty lobby, Lamar Jackson said, here's the, we got to cut through. First of all, the Baltimore Sun is a renowned publication in the world of journalism.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a very good newspaper. Now, listen,
it's not the New York Post.
It's not the New York Post. Also, I understand that we live in a world today where fake news is, if you don't like something, you can just yell it's fake and never have to face it in life. You can just pretend it didn't happen. I'm sure that the majority of this story is true. I'm sure it was checked and fact-checked and double-checked. I'm sure the sources are sources because this is what all the athletes and all the coaches and all the whatever don't seem to get. How does it benefit Mike Preston from deciding he was going to do this? Now, if you were going to say, oh, we're the ownership of the Ravens and we want to move on from Lamar, and so we're going to plant this story in there. Yeah, there's some, there's you could insinuate that a little bit, and I could be like, yeah, there's probably some truth to that, but if there was truth to it, then it was just them going, this shit's happening. You should look into it. You could write a story about it. They didn't make up that he sleeps late. They didn't make up that practice changed. They didn't make up, there's a lot of truth in this story. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee you that. And I don't know, and I haven't even read the story yet. I've just seen the tidbits.
I haven't either. Paid wall, by the way.
Yeah.
Paid wall. I tried to read it. I mean, look, but
I also agree. This, you got to take with a grain of salt. Also, this comes at a time. All of this shit has probably been always true. Just no one was bitching and complaining about it because he was playing well.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I don't know what the benefit. Why would he just make up? He's just making up out of nowhere that Lamar is missing stuff. Lamar's staying up late. And like you said, everybody can verify. Oh, they do practice later? Why is that? He's going to miss this week again, most likely. I mean, look, it's a I'll just call it a situation that they have to deal with. I mean, he's expected to make almost $75 million the next 2 years.
Again, I feel like I could be Sports Wolf from Pulp Fiction, where I just show up in a fucking tuxedo with a coffee mug. And I'm like, let me make sure you don't make a mistake today. Here's what you could do. You could pay Lamar the biggest contract for a quarterback in football. You could not win a Super Bowl, and in 5 years from now, you could take another $5 million and put it in the pocket of Mike Preston and feed him a whole bunch of information so that he writes a story so you can get out of the contract that you paid your quarterback who was never going to win a Super Bowl because your coach, who you do like and you do trust, doesn't want him to be their quarterback anymore. Or, pretty please, with cherry on top, don't fucking sign this guy who is injury prone and has never won a fucking AFC Championship game or appeared in one.
Well, he's appeared in 2.
I'm saying when they made it, when they gave him this deal,
or has he just appeared in 1?
I think he's appeared in 1, and it was what
against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I think you might be right. He's 3-5 in the playoffs. I know as a career starter. Well, look, here's what I think. I think they're overall, we'd both agree, a very since they moved to Baltimore, a very well-run organization.
Yeah.
It's backed up by the wins and losses, playoff wins and losses, a couple Super Bowls. Like, it's backed up.
I mean, how many coaches have they had since they've been there?
Has it just been Brian Billick, and Harbaugh?
Did it go straight to Harbaugh?
It's a good question. But what I was going to say is, yeah, it is. Billick to Harbaugh.
So in all the success you've had over the years, you've had 2 coaches. They both won you Super Bowls. All these players have come and gone. I know he's denying it. I know he's whatever.
He's also going to have his quarterbacks back.
Yeah.
He made he drafted him. He brought him in, right? He made the big decision. Remember how, I mean, people forget, like, that was a huge decision. People were like, whoa, he's benching Flacco. So, like, Harbaugh's had Lamar's back since day 1.
Yeah.
So, of course, he's going to have his back now.
But Harbaugh also, listen, when you talk about having your quarterbacks back, did he have Joe Flacco's back by going to Lamar Jackson? No. He had his team's best interest in mind. Do you think at that point, when he made that decision, he had some strong bond with Lamar Jackson that was like better and thicker than his bond with Joe Flacco, who he won a Super Bowl with and whatever? I don't think so. I think he was like, Joe, I love you. You know you're my guy. We got to do what's best for the team. And he went with Lamar Jackson. And guess what? He'd do it again.
Yeah, look, I think what I was getting to saying is there's such a well-run organization. I think if this is true, they will make the right move. I mean, this reeks of, I don't know if you've seen, he's from the Miami area, right? He's from Florida. He'd love to play for, I mean, this reeks of the Dolphins are such an inept organization. This reeks of, they go from Tua to, like, downside of career Lamar.
Which, by the way, Lamar Jackson learning to play lefty tomorrow is better than Tua.
True,
but he's a far better quarterback, a far better athlete, and the Dolphins wish Tua was sleeping through games.
But if you look at the numbers, and I will toot our horn, we've said it for years. If you look at the numbers, guys, I was telling Praino before the show, you go back to like a Randall Cunningham, a Steve Young even, right? Like Hall of Famers. It's like an 8-year window on running quarterbacks. That's literally what you get. This is year 8. And I went through, like, last month or a few weeks ago, whenever it was, to compare Cam Newton after year 8, see where he was at. Like, it just drops off. Because it's the equivalent. Okay, it's the equivalent. My car.
And what do running backs last?
Yeah, not even.
Yeah, because you're putting them fucking through. It's a goddamn game where you're in small, medium speed car wrecks every 8 minutes.
My car, my little Corolla hatchback, which I still got, will be 7 years old next month. 7 years. It's just about to cross 63,000 miles.
That's crazy.
So my car, realistically, now as the girls get older, like it's just not going to be like we're already pretty tight in there with the car seats, and we got to actually put Molly. She's about a year old. So you got to put her in a bigger car seat. She's riding the hatch. Molly's going to be in the hatch. But my point is, Praino, 7 years, 63,000 miles. Like my car. What did the guy say the last time I got an oil change? I go, "How we doing?" And he looked at me. He laughed. He goes, "Dude, your car's a baby." He goes, "Don't even look at the years." He goes, 7 years old. He goes, "And this is a Corolla. These things will run." He goes, "Realistically, dude, you want to keep this car for 20, 25 years with very low, like the way you drive, like you don't drive that much, right?" But like my point of bringing it up, like that my car, because my car's not taking the hits, right? It's not the quarterback that's taking the hits. It's the same year as it's Lamar, 7 year 7, year 8, whatever it is.
If you went, I'll tell you something else right now. If you went back to your dealership and you were like, "Hey, it's time for me to get out of this thing. I got babies. They'll be like, all right, yeah, we can get you in something. We can give you something nice for this car. There's 63,000 miles on it. We can turn around and sell this to somebody else tomorrow."
Yeah. 100%.
I got my car 2 years ago. I've put 50,000 miles on it in 2 years. It's going to be like trying to get Lamar Jackson another free agency gig. They're like, you're kind of stuck with that, dog. Well, like, I haven't finished paying for it yet. They're like, that seems like a you problem. Have you thought about having a journalist write a story about how you got scammed into taking this car, and maybe you could cause some sort of backlash in Mazda, and if you really scare them.
Well, I mean, that actually is. That's the perfect analogy. That's kind of what I was getting at. It's like my car still, I look it up every year. What's the value if I resell? I'm like, oh, it's still pretty good resale value. Obviously, it's not a high-end car; it's a low-end car. But I'm like, it's still good resale value. Like Lamar doesn't have that, man. And again, just the wear and tear that he's just taking.
Because why?
Because he has to run to be an effective quarterback.
Correct. Not he can run, which makes him an exceptional quarterback. He has to run.
And there it is for all these guys. Like if you have to run, this game just moves so fast too. When you start slowing down, and I don't look at his age. I'm sure his age means nothing. I think Lamar's 27 or whatever he is. Like he's not old. It doesn't matter though.
The people who came at me on our Reddit when I was like, I'm sold on Jackson Dart. This is why Brian Daboll was fired. They were like,
all the hits.
You can't win without him running. He can't be good long term if he needs to run for you to win. We just got him. You're gone.
Yeah. March 28. So he's almost 29.
And it's nothing to me, by the way.
I agree. It means nothing
Bo
to me.
Nix is 29. So,
Is he?
I don't know how old Bo Nix is, but I'm just saying.
It's 25.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Millie shouted out it out the other day. The Saints kid is 26.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah.
Show?
Slow. Show?
What's his name?
Who cares? Not going to work here anymore, that's for sure.
He's 26.
Tyler Shuck. I think it might be what it is.
But wait, I gotta give a shout out to A. Millie as well. A. Millie sent me, bro. He sent me he knows how much I love crazy team fan Reddits. He sent me one, which probably we can do it as a segment if you guys want. Not like today. We can kind of like set up one for the future. I think it'd actually be a great segment. I don't know what we call it, idiot fans on Reddit or whatever, like something catchier than this. But he sent me.
We'll brainstorm.
Yeah,
we'll sell the naming rights to the highest bidder.
I gotta show you. I gotta pull this one up, dude. You'll love this. This is on the Saints fan Reddit. Oh, they deleted it. Unbelievable. But this is what it's titled. The title's still there. Taysom Hill Pro Bowl. And then the guy goes into it saying, like, we got to get his whole premise was this.
You can't make a Hall of Fame unless you get one postseason accolade.
Yeah. So
oh my God, that is wild.
Dude, you'll love it. So yeah, you can't qualify for the Hall of Fame. You have to make at least one Pro Bowl. So his whole premise was, we got to get Taysom Hill to the Pro Bowl so that he can maybe qualify to be a Hall of Famer. Because I guess he's the only guy, like
it's the only guy with like 20 rushing, 20 passing, and 20 receiving TDs or some shit.
It was like 1,000, I think. It was like he's the only guy with like 1,000 passing yards, 1,000 receiving yards, or maybe the first since Frank Gifford in like the 50s. It was some stupid stat that like, okay, he sucks. And the truth is, no lie, until A. Millie sent me this, I didn't know Taysom Hill was still in the NFL. Like, I legit didn't know. And then I went to Taysom Hill's, I went to like the stats. I go, oh, he's just a full-time tight end now? Like, Taysom Hill, for a guy, I think I'm pretty on top of my NFL knowledge. I was like, oh, he's still in the league. Oh, he's just a tight end now? And then if you scroll through the comments, yeah, here's a comment. Somebody writes, a reasonable Saints fan writes, I love Taysom as much as the next guy. He was never going to sniff the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Somebody responds, why not? He has accomplished something that this is it. Yeah. That no one else in the NFL has ever done except for Frank Gifford in the 50s. Gifford is in the Hall of Fame. To which that person responds, Gifford was on the All-50s decade team. He has an MVP. He was a 4-time first-team All-Pro and an 8-time Pro Bowler. And then
but still.
A. Millie even hopped in the comments on Reddit. Guys, I can't say enough. The cesspool of Reddit fandom is insane. So like I felt myself as I was laying in bed last night. I couldn't resist. I just thought,
you hopped into Saints Reddit?
No, I popped into to Lions.
Okay.
I was like, okay. Jared Goff, 2 interceptions, 3 lost fumbles. I know they had issues with the snapper and it was a third string snapper, but whatever. I'm like, Jared Goff, 5 turnovers, right? I'm like, 5 turnovers. What's going on in the
I gotta say that's one of the great things about being Joe Praino, Andy. It's like I don't have to watch games because I already know what's gonna happen. Like in my head, I'm just like, all right, so medium pizza against the Vikings, who have a pretty good defense. I don't need. I'm gonna continue to watch the NBA.
Yeah, I'm an idiot, by the way. That was a game that I saw. It was 7.5 spread. And it was in Minnesota. I was like, oh, I think the Lions, or I'm sorry, the Vikings are going to cover, even though they literally threw for like 50 yards the whole game. So anyway, I pop into Lions Reddit last night. I was like, oh, I'm the gif of Birdman going like this. I'm like, what we got here? What we got? What kind of stupid Lions fans are defending Jared Goff? Here we go. The Jared Goff hate is insane. And then this person just lays out all the reasons why. And then all these people hop in, a lot of them. And by the way, anybody critical of Goff just gets downvotes. And I'm like, you guys are such a lost fan base. Because if you follow the game at all, we already know Goff got to the highest level ever. How many times are we going to say this? With arguably top 3 coach, like you could argue McVay, the current level of coaches in the NFL, you're going to put McVay literally right up there. And McVay said, I can't win with this guy. We got as far as we could go. and I'm arguably the best coach, if not one of the best coaches in the league. And then you see Lions fans, Reddits are like, oh, no, I don't, the hate is stupid. The hate is, I'm just like, you guys are absolutely insane.
I've got a quarterback hot take, which we can continue to shit on Redditors and whatever. The Saints Reddit is lunacy. The fucking Jared Goff. If you're a Jared Goff at this defender at this point, cool. Lamar Jackson defenders would like a word with you. They suddenly have a big situation on their hands that they need this. Right. I have a quarterback hot take for you.
Go for it.
That era of quarterback that we went through with the Mannings and Brady and Phillip Rivers and Roethlisberger and all those dudes, that wasn't just quarterback peak like that we got to. That's the peak we'll ever get to. Because everything now from the NFL into college, you have all these guys moving around in college. And the reason that these guys move around and the way these college coaches recruit guys is they're recruiting on scheme. Everything is so scheme heavy that now the quarterbacks don't ever need to learn.
They don't develop
the ability to change play at the line, the ability to audible, the ability to have the game, like have control of the game. These coaches at the lowest level in college football to the highest level in the NFL, to the best of the best of the best, don't want the quarterback to have control of the game. Now you look at a situation. Who is the best coach? Like you just said, one of the best coaches in the league is Sean McVay. What did he do? He went out, he had a great scheme, and he went out and plucked one of the last men standing with the physical capability to still play quarterback from the era of the quarterback where the game's all here at the line, in your head at the line, and he immediately won a Super Bowl. You're not going to get any of those guys ever again because they don't learn it at any point, and they certainly don't continue to learn it in an evolutionary sense when they get to the NFL. You're not going to have Joe Montana and Bill Walsh. You're not going to have all these things where it's coach and quarterback because it's so scheme heavy. Dare I say, look at what happened with the Chiefs. The Chiefs had a scheme. This game is moving so fast from a tape watching adjustment standpoint that now we're getting the Saquon Barkley has the best year for a running back in history, and the next year is fighting to go over 1,000 yards because we're like, this is what they're doing. This is how we stop it. Now, we went through a whole era where the chess matches, this is what they're doing. This is how we stop it. This is how I do what I want to do when you're trying to stop that other thing I was going to do because I'm coming to the line with multiple plays and I'm moving everybody around and I'm adjusting the game on the fly. The quarterbacks don't have the ability to do that. And now we're just in a scheme battle. And I just don't think you'll ever see the Bradys, Mannings, Roethlisbergers, Rivers, Drew Breeses of the world ever again. Unless, of course, we have another evolutionary shift in the game where, somebody does it different and they come in and that's how they take advantage of this. But that was the quarterback peak. And guess what? The reason I came up with this theory is because Phillip Rivers has come back and looked competent despite being physically inept.
Well, that I'm glad you brought that up. It's truly amazing.
The other night, Aikman's like, Phillip's got a real handle on this offense right now.
Yeah, and obviously I was watching too. That's exactly what he was saying. He was saying, look, man.
Now, again, not physically able to do it at this point, but the idea, he's the old man at the Y fucking dominating kids in pickup basketball that are strong, bigger, stronger, faster because he's pump faking, he's getting you in the air, he's doing this thing, he's doing that because he's thoughtful.
I mean, what, watching that game, of course I was rooting for Phillip Rivers. Watching that game, I'm like, Such a letdown by the Colts D. They just couldn't stop. I go, Phil, you just put up 27 points on Monday Night Football. 27 points. You guys wasted a 44-year-old literally off the street 27-point game. Come on. But it is answering that question of, because I was doing it too. I was going, there's nobody else? There's nobody else who can do this? And then you go, well, actually, how many guys could just put up 27 points?
Well, that's where my whole idea is built. It's like what no one else can do is come in and take it. Like, I think that's just an era of quarterback we're never going to see again. I think the idea now of finding some 28-year-old kid, I mean, like, come in and learn my scheme in a minute isn't going to happen, because that's what, look, Joe Flacco keeps getting jobs.
It's true.
And keeps playing really well, even though, like, the team that, again, Harbaugh made the decision to move on, but like Flacco's played well enough with other teams where it's like, should he? But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, well, yeah, he should have.
Sure.
What's that?
Yeah, he should have definitely moved on.
Sure. Yes. But my point is I think we live in a league now where having a quarterback who has that ability that they don't teach anymore gives you a decided advantage now that everything's moved to scheme. So
scheme.
Back to the overriding point. Return to the beginning. Jared Goff is trash. You've never had that ability, despite having the best coach in the league. You got to the Super Bowl. He was scheming you. You didn't elevate his thing. You didn't have the ability as a quarterback to elevate what Sean McVay did.
So that's the argument, and that's the good argument, to just destroy any Jared Goff bootlicker or any of these idiots on Reddit. There it is. Like, you were put in place with Sean McVay. Now you get weapons out your ass in Detroit. You're not elevating any of them, man. You're just not. They're elevating you. It's the opposite. And that's where the argument ends.
Oh, and they're significantly worse now that the guy who ran the scheme left?
Exactly. And his team's going to win the division. Well, I'm going to tie this into our show because I like what you're talking about, the Golden Age. The Golden Age of Pilsner is this year for Miller Lite, the 50th anniversary.
So great.
I mean,
it's the holiday season. My days now, it's like I love this is the best time of year. I love not knowing what day it is. Monday, Tuesday. I'm like, football's on. It's Sunday. I'm like, it's Wednesday. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm still cracking a Miller Lite because football's on, basketball's on. The holiday season, sports on television, cozy, warm clothes, a fire going. I got gifted some Miller Lite pajama pants this Christmas season. I paired them with the Miller Lite rugby shirt the Miller Lite was kind enough to send me. I sat down in front of the game yesterday, and I watched the NBA from morning to night. Miller Lite, NBA, Miller Lite.
I mean, it is. It's always been, guys, Miller Lite has been the golden age of light beers because it's the original. Like Joe's saying, half a century. This is 50 years that beer lovers have trusted the golden Pilsner. Guys, the best holidays are the ones you don't expect. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. We got it up on the screen. Simply go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. 'Tis Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Order some for the holidays. Send us a picture of your beer getting dropped off at your door. Are you pulling it out of the cooler? Tag us. I want to know that you guys are out there doing this with me. The holidays of Miller Lite.
Do you want to why don't I play calls? We're talking quarterbacks. We're talking about the golden age. Here.
Before we move on from Miller Lite, let me just say one last thing, Andy.
Yeah.
2025, as we've talked about throughout the year, the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite. Honestly, I've got a little something in my throat. I feel like it's Miller Lite. I feel like it's Miller Lite trying to tell me, like, what are you doing, dog? Like,
Hey,
you
wash it
have
down.
a liquid behind you.
Wash it down. There you go. Wash it down with a nice cold one. There you go.
Miller Lite's like, we're trying to tell you, man.
Yeah, it's a sign.
The 50th anniversary of Miller Lite is the year 2025. Now we're nearing the end of 2025, just a few days left. But it felt like the celebration got started. Didn't feel like they rolled out that celebration January 1. I don't know what day Miller Lite officially launched, but it felt like it was around March or April when they were really, because I didn't get a golden can until I went to a Mets game this spring.
I think
So
you're
I'm
right.
just going to say 2025 is wrapping up. I'm going to extend this into April. I'll still be celebrating the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite into April of next year, and I hope that's okay with dirt balls, dirty sports listeners, and the good folks at Miller Lite.
Yeah,
I hope they're okay.
And then April and May of 2027, April and May of 2028. Just continue. So we got a call. We'll just keep this quarterback discussion rolling. So let's play a call. I'm real curious to hear your take on this because obviously I've already heard it.
Praino, Ruther, it's Luca Cash Money, your non-AI Chargers fan calling. I there to start the Justin Herbert MVP talk. I've been kind of feeling it all season. They did have a little bit of a lull in the middle of the season. Really have been dealing with a lot of injuries, especially to the O-line. This is why I think that he's the MVP. The guy's constantly on the run, and they're still 11-4 and have the chance to win the AFC West. If they can beat the Texans this week, it sets up a matchup in Denver for the AFC West, Week 18. So, I was curious why there has been no talk about Justin Herbert for MVP. He's got the numbers, and they're winning. Condoms are for Bo Nix and his god-awful head coach.
Luca, thanks for the call. I'm just being honest, wild take here, man. like love you, bro.
Have you pulled up some of the stats?
I mean, yeah, I have them right here.
Listen.
Do you want to start with the betting odds? Not that necessarily matters, but he's not even on the board here, man. He's not even. I have the top 18. To put it in context, Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff are on the board here. Like, and I don't know if that's just bias. Baker, he's not even on the board as far as MVP. Like, let me just put it this way. Let's bring up. Can I bring up Matthew Stafford because he is the front runner?
Sure.
Matthew Stafford has thrown. He's thrown for 700 more yards.
Yeah, Justin Herbert is 8th in touchdowns and 8th in yards.
He's thrown 15 more touchdown passes.
The guys who are ahead of him in touchdowns and yards include Sam Darnold, whose team has a better record, Bo Nix, whose team has a better record, Drake May, whose team has a better record, Matthew Stafford, whose team has a better record, and guys who are up there in the MVP thing. Luca, love you, longtime supporter of the show. Also well known to just jump the gun on his hot take. I mean, this is the guy. I believe
he's a Kings guy.
Yeah, he's very upset at me that I didn't give the Kings any credit for being a 2 seed a couple of years ago. We have not seen them since in the playoffs. They also lost in the first round that year.
Are they still in Sacramento?
I don't know. I think they might have folded in with the A's, and now they're a basketball team based in Sacramento. Yeah.
And that's not to take anything away from Justin Herbert. They have battled some serious injuries.
I should say, I was about to say we. I think you are fence sitting on your feelings in Justin Herbert. Well, I am still a Justin Herbert supporter. Always have been, always will be. I think Justin Herbert.
He's got to win some games in playoffs.
Yes, he's a great quarterback, in my opinion. And I would take him over a lot of the guys that you, as a Justin Herbert stan, are probably trying to make a case for him to be in the running for MVP more. But the fact of the matter is, when you look at team record and statistics, He's just not doing it on the level of numerous other quarterbacks who are above him in the MVP race. And miss me with the whole offensive line thing because I don't care. That's part of football.
Yeah, and look, he's a tough dude. He's obviously battled through his injuries with his hand, and he doesn't come out of games, even like right when he's battling with the broken hand, right? Whatever it is. He's fun to watch. I like watching Justin Herbert. He's dynamic. He's an athlete. I definitely, my love of him definitely dropped off a lot last year in that playoff game. I'm like, dude, you gotta win. You gotta win a couple playoff games for me. But yeah, MVP. Now look, they are as a team, they're only a game and back of the Broncos. And yeah, they can, if they handle business. That's what's crazy. If they beat the Texans and they get the Broncos again, who they've already beaten, and if they beat them a second time, they win the division. And who knows, possibly a 1 seed. So there's, a lot to be figured out here these last couple of weeks. But
and listen, if he throws for 12 touchdowns over the course of those 2 games, he'd inject himself directly into the MVP vote.
100%.
And if he threw for, 375 yards in both those games, then we have a conversation. But right now, you can't he's asking for us to start the conversation, which Justin Herbert hasn't started the conversation. Now,
trust me, if he's there, again, I'm not basing everything on the betting odds, but if he's in the conversation, he's on the list. He's not. Oh, actually, I'm on crack. I take it back. I'm lost my mind. He is on there.
Yeah, I figured. And I bet you he's like 8th.
Yeah, he's 5th. Okay. Jesus, I completely missed that. I was like, Jared Goff and Baker on here? Okay. He's plus 750.
Yeah.
He's behind Stafford, Drake May, Josh Allen.
I can tell you who's behind. Yeah, I can tell you who's behind.
Why did you call me out when I was misspeaking? Like,
no, but I don't know where you're getting your odds or what you're looking at. It didn't seem correct for you to be like, he's not in the top 18.
I thought that was weird.
But regardless, right now, each and every one of those guys that you listed actually has a better case. Maybe not Trevor Lawrence. But
yeah, I mean, again, if they win that division and he has 2 just banger games, because those are going to be tough games, right? Against great defenses.
But Luca's asking for us to start the conversation when Justin Herbert himself has not started the conversation. Just by surviving and not getting hurt or playing through injury and having a bad O-line and being 8th in touchdowns and whatever it's not reasonable yet. Now, if you were the 1 seed and with a couple of big games jump past some of those guys on touchdowns or on yards or whatever, now we can have the conversation. Also, just win a playoff game and who cares? Who cares who give it the MVP?
Yeah. I totally agree.
Russell Wilson never got a single MVP vote, and Ruther, will stand for him forever. So it's so Luca, you could be that for Justin Herbert.
I won't stand.
Who's a way better quarterback.
I will not look. I haven't started my Russ for Hall of Fame. I will not stand for him forever. It'll be interesting when his time is up.
I'm gonna put on the Dirty Sports Reddit who's more deserving of the Hall of Fame, Russ or
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
That guy deleted it. He just straight up was like, "I'm out." I've read some of the comments. I'm out, bro. Reddit is the worst takes.
I told you this.
Like I haven't really delved into other areas of Reddit.
It's the worst.
But like the sports takes, bro. You know what's funny to me? If you don't ride or die for your team and be Homer 100%, then the other guys just vote you down. Right? Like you can't be that guy in there to be like, hey man, Goff has a lot of flaws. They're just like downvote.
Guess what, Andy? I mean, I didn't even think about it until right now, and I'm just so glad. And I'm so glad that I'm like off Reddit. I've never even been to Mets Reddit. I can only imagine it is a fucking cesspool.
I think because of you can be anonymous on like Twitter, but this is like the most anonymous possible. Like you can just like 100% be living in your weird world. Dude, like I saw a guy today. I hopped into Bengals Reddit for a minute, and I couldn't stop laughing. A guy posted a picture. He converted like a room I'm in. He created an entire Cincinnati Bengals museum in like a room. Like I'm talking walls, floor. Like you walk in, and I was just like, and of course he's getting all these upvotes. Like, look what my dad did. I'm like, wait, why? That's my first question. Why? What are you doing? Go outside. And by the way, I agree with you. Before we get to these NFL picks, I agree with you. Yesterday, I had this conversation with my brother last night at his house. He's like, dude, can we just get a break? Can we get a break from the NFL? And then we were laughing because
They pushed it too far. They did something no one thought was possible. They pushed it too far.
And he's not a big NBA guy. You know what he did? He goes, we got a bunch of kids over here. He goes, because he had the game on. He had the game on in the background. He goes, what am I doing? He's got a bunch of kids over here. He goes, I'm putting on Elf. Like, he goes, I don't care to watch Vikings Lions. What are we doing? And then we were laughing about.
It's funny. I was at a party last night for a Christmas dinner. I don't want to say a party, but a Christmas dinner. I think there was 9 adults, 2 kids. This is our boy Brian, who gave me the Miller Lite pajama pants, by the way. Love Brian. Great guy. 2 kids there. We had Elf, then we had the Polar Express, and then we had Willy Wonka, and I was like, bro, this NBA game's on, dog. Like, what are we doing here? This NBA game's on. I was like, glad you got me Miller Lite. I got some prize pick props a lot of time to these NBA games, dog. What are we doing here?
But then there's also like we were talking about last night because they had 3 games, right? NFL. I said, we're like, these guys played Sunday. And I was laughing. I go, you know what's funny too? I said, the league always acts like they care about safety, which we all know is bullshit. So there's that. I go, but then there's the cuck for billionaire is the same cuck for like millionaire. A lot, or the guy who's a cuck. I'm sorry, the guy who's a cuck for billionaire is the same guy who's like, oh, you can't play on Wednesday. We were laughing about those guys, how dumb they are. And my brother was like, dude, I can't even imagine playing Sunday. And then there's like, you got to play Wednesday. And I go, yeah, those idiot fans would be like, oh, you make millions of dollars to play a fun game. Suck it up. Play on Christmas so I can watch.
Meanwhile, they played basketball with their son on his new hoop outside on Christmas Day, and now they won't walk again for 6 to 8 weeks. So it's like, honey, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know. Something happened to me yesterday. She's like, do you think it's from the 3 right-handed layups you made on the new basketball hoop? No, that's not it.
Well, we
get
got
15 medium speed car accidents tomorrow. See how you feel on Thursday.
Yeah, seriously.
No, it's crazy. And also, guess what? I understand that the NFL, I really do think that you can push yourself no matter what it is, except for Miller Lite. I think you can push yourself to a point of saturation where it's like not NBA on Christmas. The NFL like committing to coming in and stomping on their turf and being like, we're taking Christmas. I don't like it. I showed that yesterday. Like, now the games were trash. The mashups were trash. They meant nothing, essentially. I mean, they mean some stuff for seeding, the Broncos and the whatever. But like all in all, they mean nothing. Like, I did not watch a second of football yesterday. And it's a little bit about me being like, no, I don't like it. I don't like this.
Yeah.
I'm watching the NBA. Christmas is for the NBA. Christmas is the unofficial starter. I'm a sports fan. I'm not like I'm a football fan. I'm a sports fan. And the NBA and Christmas works for me. I like it. I spoke my piece to the NFL yesterday. I'm not watching. I'm sure millions of other people watch. They're not missing me. But yesterday was all NBA all day for me until I had to watch Elf and the Polar Express and go to the bathroom and watch the NBA on my phone.
Like a real man.
Like a real man.
Like a real man. All right, let's get through these picks then. More Saturday games. Again, NFL's like they want their cake and they want to eat it too. Okay, we got 2 games, which will be important proceeding. And we start off with Texans Chargers. Should be a good one. On paper, it should. In LA, Chargers are 1.5-point favorites.
I'll go first. I think the Chargers win this game. I think they're gonna Luka is gonna get what he wants, and
That final week, it's gonna be up.
It's gonna be up for grabs. I think a lot of people are eyeballing this game as like, oh, this is where the Chargers come back down to earth. The Texans are a really good defense, and I think that will play into it. Like, I think it is going to be a good game, and I think it could go either way. But
so let's not forget, this was the game last year. This was the playoff game,
right,
where the Texans literally beat the shit out of Herbert.
Yeah,
and whooped their ass down in Houston. So there's a revenge factor going on here. Texans win and cover. Sorry, Justin.
And by the way, you were saying sorry to Justin Herbert. I was like, what's Randy Ruther up to this one?
yeah,
Are you a Chargers fan now?
But that Reddit post of the room dedicated was actually Justin. It was nothing but TJ Hushmanzada memorabilia from his 6 years in the Bengals.
And a Flacco jersey. And of course, the one that just says Randy Ruther on the back. I think that as I want to shout out Nate Vanderbleek.
Nate, yeah.
Who
long-time dirtball.
Who went through? He was like, I've heard that no one's been. He went through all the games. He went through all of our picks, and put together a sheet for us. And this just goes to show you, no matter what we do every year, Andy, with us angling to like pick against each other, pick with each other, pick whatever, it's always coming down to like 2 games regardless. I think he did the math, and I think you're up 2 games going into this weekend.
Unreal.
Yeah.
It really is. It just always comes down to the end. All right, so we're going to disagree on this one. Ravens-Packers, it looks like Lamar is out again. I don't really care, to be honest. This one's in Lambeau. Green Bay's a 4.5-point favorite. I think Tyler Huntley's a decent backup. I actually think the Ravens keep it close. I'm going to take the Ravens to cover.
I'm going to take the Packers to win and cover. I think that I think all of the hoopla around the Ravens, I don't know if it's calculated, if it's not. I don't know who's really behind it. I don't know why it's happening now, but I think the rest of this Ravens season unravels.
Let me ask you, what would you do at this point with the Harbaugh situation? I know a lot of people are unhappy with him, and I think it's been a while since I'm trying to think. The way they haven't won a Super Bowl since, I know it's so hard to win a Super Bowl, but that was going on 13, 14 years ago now. Is it just one of those, like, maybe it's time to just move on?
I mean, you're asking me if I was like the owner of the Ravens or the GM of the Ravens? Listen, let's say tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow the Ravens owner said the team's for sale. It's $2.5 billion or whatever, unless Joe Praino wants it for $8,000. Joe Praino can have it for $8,000. I'd be like, all right, I'm buying the Ravens for $8,000. And I'm arriving sight unseen as the new owner of the Ravens for the first time in week 16 of this year. And I've got a Lamar Jackson situation, and I've got a Harbaugh situation, and I've got whatever. What I would do is I would sit down with Harbaugh and I would say, look, here's the deal. Is Miami just that dumb? I mean, the Browns do exist, and they paid a guy who had been accused of 40 rapes the most money that's ever been.
I would say that they are because they just gave Tua all that money. So they're clearly that dumb.
So I'm going to be like, listen, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. I'm getting rid of Lamar Jackson. I'm going to get the value I can get from Lamar Jackson right now. We're starting over at the most important position, and that's quarterback. I don't like the guy you got. I haven't liked him the whole time. I'm not really going to ask you why you did like him the whole time because I'm the coach starting today. I'm the owner starting today. You've gotten this team to the playoffs over and over and over again. I think you're a great football coach. Does this upset you, them getting rid of your guy? And if he says yes, I'll be like, don't even finish that sentence with an explanation. You can get your shit and get the fuck out.
Okay.
Does it not upset you that I'm getting rid of your guy? No, it doesn't. What do you think we need? What do you think we need? We're gonna get rid of this guy. We'll get some value. What kind of guy do you think we should get? And I'm gonna judge it based on that answer. But the truth is, the Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh thing, one of them's got to go. And great head coaches don't have 8-year windows. But running quarterbacks do. And we're in year 8.
Yeah. I think that's a good approach, actually.
But you better sell me on your philosophy of what we're going to do next. Because I will replace your ass, too. I'll get rid of both of you guys. I don't care.
Yeah. I think that's a good approach. I like it. All right. Cardinals, Bengals. It's here. Bengals 7.5-point favorites. Jacoby Brascoli show. 3-12 Cardinals, 5-10 Bengals. What do you think?
Backdoor Brascoli.
Yeah. I like it too. Backdoor Brascoli. Bengals, as shout out to Justin Wood, as predicted, will win their last 3 games, elevate their draft status, finish 7-10, make no wholesale changes, and continue to run it back, run it back, run it back. All right, Steelers, Browns. Steelers can win this division with a win. And if the Ravens lose tomorrow, they've already won it. But these games are always tight. Browns always play the Ravens and Steelers.
Where's the game and what is the spread, Andy?
It's 3 points, Pittsburgh in Cleveland.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna say I like the way the Steelers have looked. I'm gonna say Steelers win and cover.
I am too. If it was a little bit bigger, it was 3.5, 4, 4.5. Might have gone with the Browns. 3. I'll take the Steelers. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game, and I think that the Steelers are going to win the game.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Saints, Titans. Do the Titans want to win again? They're going to follow that number 1 pick. This one
I don't even have the number 1 right now.
It's your boys, the Giants.
Right. Let's go. Now,
Saints,
the Giants are probably stupidly going to win in Vegas this week.
Yeah. Well, that's like the number 1 bowl right there.
Yeah.
Saints, Titans. Saints have 5 wins now. 2.5-point Saints favorites in Nashville.
Ooh.
Our boy Tyler Show. You gonna win?
Yeah.
Titans win back-to-back games. I'm calling.
Wow. Okay. Love it. Yeah. Give me the Saints.
Jags, Colts. Philip Rivers show continues in Indy. Jacksonville's 5.5-point favorites. Give me the Colts to cover.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I just said this before. Whoa, what the fuck was that? But I'm gonna go against what I already said. For the sole purpose of fading Ruther, give me the Jags.
All right. Bucks, Dolphins, little Florida game here in Miami. Tampa Bay's 5.5-point favorites. God, they just felt, dude, they started 6-2. What happened to them? They're now 7-8.
It's in Miami or it's in Tampa?
It's in Miami.
And they're what? 6.5-point favorites?
They're 5.5.
Okay.
You're up.
I'll take the Dolphins to cover.
I agree. I'll take the Dolphins.
But I think the Bucks win this game, and I think the NFC South comes down to it at the end.
Well, the Panthers got a tough one. They got the Seahawks at home. So if the Bucks win,
they regain control of the division.
I don't know how it plays out if the Panthers lose. I'm not sure. Jets, Patriots in MetLife. Patriots are 13.5-point favorites. Big spread. I'll take the Jets.
What did the Patriots do last week? They
beat the Ravens on the road.
Right. Give me the Pats.
Okay.
Give me the Pats to just dunk all over the Jets.
Yeah. Seahawks, Panthers, I just alluded to it. This one's in Charlotte. Seattle's 7-point favorites. It's a big spread.
Am I up?
Yeah.
Give me the Panthers.
For sure. Give me the Panthers. All right. Giants, Raiders in Vegas. You Giants are 1.5 favorites. I just can't take the Raiders. I'm going to take the Giants.
I can't take the Raiders, and I think the Giants screw up their draft position.
All right, lots of shit games. Finally, a few good ones coming up.
I'm really hopeful that the Giants brass have learned from some of their past mistakes.
Probably not.
I'm hoping that we're in tank. I'm hoping we're in full tank. It feels like we might be in full tank. I'm going to take the Giants nonetheless.
They're going to bring out Jeff Hostetler for quarterback. They're going to follow the Phillip Rivers model. We're going to have 60-year-old Jeff Hostetler.
Put Russ back in if we're being honest. be like, Russ, go play your game, man. Go win this thing.
How old is Hostetler? 64. Okay. What else we got here? Oh yeah, Eagles, Bills. This should be a good one. This one's in Buffalo. Buffalo's a 1.5 favorite.
Give me the Bills. 1.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills too. Okay, Bears, Niners. This one's, the Niners still have a chance to win that division.
Yeah.
Bears,
Niners also still have like a weird outside shot at the 1 seed.
Yeah. They do. And I don't think it's that weird. San Francisco's 3-point favorites. This is Sunday Night Football.
It's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
3-point favorites. I'll take the Bears.
I will I'll take the Bears too. All right. Last one. Yeah, it's kind of a dud for the last one. Monday Night Football. Rams, Falcons in Atlanta. Rams are 7.5-point favorites.
Well, you'd think it was a dud, but I think it's going to be a close game. So give me the Falcons.
I agree. Falcons cover.
Rams win. Falcons keep it somewhat close. Backdoor Falcon.
Backdoor Falcon. Is that a Marvel? Is that a Marvel character?
That's what they used to call Dion when he would sneak into the Atlanta clubs back in the day. Like, it's Backdoor Falcon.
It's all Backdoor Falcon. All right, there you go. Coming down to the end as always. 2 more weeks, this week and next week. Hotline, give a shout. 859.
Andy, is it too late? Before we're 2 weeks away, and you're up to you. Should we throw out a last minute bet for the last 2 weeks? I'm coming this down too with 2 weeks to play.
I mean, you want to do it now? You want to think of one?
I think loser. Here's what I think.
Has to see an 8th grade girls basketball game.
I was going to say in the next calendar year, in 2026, the winner can go to a sporting event and request the presence of the loser there. Now, I can't just be like, I'm going to Dodger Stadium or whatever, but like, I think one of us should have to make a dirtball meetup where the loser has to go to the winner's selection. It's like almost a forced dirtball meetup.
Wait, what?
So like I'll be like, all right, I'm going to Giants Broncos in Denver. We're doing it. And you're like, well, I'm like, you're coming.
This is a big ask, bro, for me. That's a big ask for somebody with 2 little kids. We couldn't even make it. We couldn't make it to my brother's last night, all 4 of us.
Well, sounds like you need to get off to this episode after this and go run this by your wife. And be like,
Yeah.
I have a 2-game lead. So technically, I have a distinct advantage over Joe. And I could just be like, Joe, you got to go to the Louisville Y'alls game.
That's what I'm saying. Like we couldn't make it to 2 Christmases as a full family. We had to split it up because fucking Molly.
Well, listen, no one said you can't bring your family. Put everybody in the Corolla hatchback. Drive out to Mile High Stadium.
I like how just Denver it is.
I don't know. I was trying to think of something that's not,
I'll think of we'll shoot some messages, dirtballs. Give a shout.
Hotline's open 859-832-0478.
Yeah, I'm open to all ideas. I'm open to it, but like I'm open to everything. Now, will I commit? I don't know. Same way I haven't committed to marriage, so like commitment's difficult for me.
That's why they call him Cream Pie Andy. It's only one thing he's committed to.
Damn right. So I got 2 kids. Whoa. All right. Speaking of, the fam just got home. All right. I am.
All right, everybody follow me on social media at Joe Praino. Come see the show, joepraino.com.
I love doing that in front of my daughter, the cream pie joke. All right, guys, that's the show. Thanks for listening.
Is she listening?
She's about to crawl in here. We'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. And as always, stay dirty.